Hey, Blam here with SC2Strat.net, bringing you that classic Stalker Colossus build. You see this a lot in matchups out there where you're facing a Protoss opponent and they're just coming at you with mass Stalkers and Colossus, and it feels unstoppable. And that's largely in part because it is pretty unstoppable. So very common build for Protoss against Terran, Protoss against Zerg, but you know what, it's just as effective against Protoss. The Colossus is effective on gateway units, same as it's effective on bio units from Terran and Zerg. So starts out pretty basic. We're going to have a 9 pylon go down. We're then going to send that guy out to scout, as is pretty commonplace. And then you're going to see a 12 gateway go down. So very, very standard opening. I'm going to skim past that just a little bit. Keep it fresh, no need to drag it on. So the gateway goes down at 12, and then we're going to get our gas, our first gas over here. Build your first assimilator at 14. So assimilator goes down, get that probe back to mining resources, and we're going to wait for this gateway to finish, and as soon as it does, that's when we want to get our cybernetics. Actually, we're going to get a pylon first at 16 so we don't get supply capped, and then we're going to get our cybernetics core at 17. So core goes down. Get your gas saturated over there. You want 3 probes on that assimilator as fast as possible. And then we're going to get our second gateway at 19. We'll put it about to normal speed here while things catch up. So obviously my probe went down here and scouted this. I'm just playing the computer on this one, so it's going to be an easy match. Just trying to show you guys the build. And then we're going to move the probe back since the Xel'Naga to hold that Xel'Naga cavern, so hold that Xel'Naga tower. So back up here, nothing needs to happen. Keep chrono boosting those probes. Actually, as soon as the Cybernetics Core finishes, go ahead and research Warp Gate, and as soon as it's down, you're going to get your first Stalker out. So we got that first Stalker at 21, and we researched our Warp Gates at 21. Then we're going to get a Pylon at 24, and our third Gateway at 24 as well, and our second gas at 24 as well. So 3 things went down there at 24. A pylon, third gateway, and our second assimilator. Gonna throw 1 chrono boost on the warp gates there to get that finishing, and we're gonna train our second stalker. He came out at 25, or started training at 25, I should say. Once that second assimilator completes, go ahead and move 3 probes over to start saturating that right away, and keep training probes back on your mineral line there too. We're going to get a Sentry out of our second gateway at 30, so that just happened a moment ago, and then at 31 we want to go ahead and get another pylon down there. So since we're facing Protoss, I know their build is going to be a little bit slower. I felt okay in going ahead and securing an expansion with 3 Stalkers and a Sentry and Warp Gates research, right? It's important to have Warp Gates research before you kind of make that move at 6-7 minutes. So you can cancel the Nexus if you need to, and then quickly warp in some additional units. So Robotics Facility went down at 35. We trained our third Stalker at 32. Sorry, I missed that. And we're going to get another Pylon at 35 as well. So at this point I'm like, okay, I'd like to expand rather than showing any more aggression here. I've got Warp Gates research. I could have quickly researched 3 more Stalkers and maybe poked in if I wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and secure the expansion here. Now, use your best judgment on that, guys. That's not, religion when it comes to this build that you should expand at this point. But certainly an okay time to do so, and that Sentry's Guardian Shield and Force Field to save a choke is going to help you defend any aggression that does come in. So now we're here at 39, and that's when we're going to research our robotics bay as soon as this robotics facility completed. And that's really the end of the build that I'm going to have posted in the YouTube description and up on SC2Strat.net. From here, your play is going to vary based on what your opponent does, right? But the basic strategy from here on out is to stay on top of your macro game, warp in Stalkers, and train Colossus, obviously, right? I do get a forge here at 45. I'm going to clean these guys up here, no problem. Warp in an additional Stalker there to help out. Again, just playing the computer, so nothing too terrible right there, right? See if I can pick them off. Decide I can't, and I move back. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. Again, this is just the macro game from here on out here. You want to get forged, research your armor first. You definitely want to research this extended thermal lance upgrade. I wait till I have about 3 or 4 Colossus before I really burn the gas on researching that. And you do want to get some additional gateways. I'll be honest, guys, I don't do the best job of macroing this match from here on out because this is the build. This is what I wanted to show you guys. It's up to you from this point out really to saturate your minerals, stay up on your supply, and warp in as many Stalkers and Colossus as possible. But since I do, and here you can see I'm getting an additional gateway, right? I probably could have got even a 5th gateway. And as it gets into the later game, you do want to look at getting an additional robotics facility so you can stay up on those Colossus production. But we're just going to go ahead and speed it up here until I get the army massed, right? Again, armor's always the first thing you want to research as Protoss. And eventually you do want to get a Twilight Council, not just so you can get better upgrades, but so that you can get blink for your Stalkers, right? Always good idea to have a couple sentries in the mix. I think I push out with about 2 sentries in this mix here. Feel free to go to sc2strat.net and download the SC2 replay file if you want to watch this at your own pace. Check out some of the production tabs and resources and things like that. And just use that replay file to help you practice the build. Again, I'll just be honest, I don't do the best job of macroing once I kind of knew, hey, I've hit the build I want to show people, right? My pro production's nowhere near where it should be for 13.5 minutes. I should have that base fully saturated, right? But just for grins here, I'm going to push out and finish off the opponent. So you'll notice these guys do have the extended thermal lance is being researched, already been researched. Researching blink, that's kind of the last thing I'm waiting for before I go in there. I always make sure to chrono boost your upgrades, and I always chrono boost the robotics bay to try to get those Colossus out a little bit faster. But yeah, that's the build. We'll speed this up here. Appreciate you guys watching. Check out sc2strat.net for transitions, details, and other things about this build, as well as again that SC2 replay file if you want to check it out and watch it yourself. You know, last thing I'll say, when you do push out, always keep the Stalkers in front. You can see I use some blink to get right on top of things so that my Colossus can stay in the back and just clean things up. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Good luck out there, and check out sc2strat.net.